Welcome in, Banish. Let's just get the show on the road right away. I could look like I be in HAZBIN Hotel. Look at me. Whoops. So it's no secret that HAZBIN Hotel just finished up. And very mixed reviews on the whole thing. I've never seen a single episode. My input on this topic will be quite insightful. Well, be sure to throw in as many opinions as you want, my guy. Because, let's be real, anything is better than what we got. Princess, who has been looking forward to this since the pilot, said that her expectations were low going into it, and that her expectations were met. A lot wrong with this show. But for, just starting it off, for those of you who might not know it or who might read this VOD later, the pilot for HAZBIN Hotel was basically the Princess of Hell wants to try to set up a way to redeem sinners by way of a hotel where she rehabs them. Pretty solid, right? She wants to find redemption for these sinners and to try to get them to heaven. In the show itself, on top of that, they also added, and I can't even call it a subplot. It's like the original intention of the show is the subplot, but the plot of the show is that angels routinely exterminate sinners in hell to make sure there isn't another uprising against heaven. Huh? I don't understand where this came from. Especially, yeah, no, that's the plot of the show. Is angels will exterminate the sinners that are in hell because apparently they can die again. And apparently hell is getting full, so they need to kill the sinners. But how is hell getting full? We have to re-defeat them because of reasons. I will say, and I will establish, we're not going to pull too much from the Bible because this is Reddit hell. That is the setting. The setting of the show is Reddit hell. It's not real hell. It's Reddit hell. It has nothing to do with actual heaven and hell. I mean, the setting itself, I could try to pull up a map or what my friend posted the other day. If I can pull that up in Discord. Did Discord close itself? Weird. But the setting is like heaven and hell don't not occupy the same space. It's like there is a degree of separation, but hell is largely its own entity. Then purgatory is the planet in between heaven and hell. And then heaven is like a distance away up in the sky, which again, we're not going to go biblical here. We're not going to nitpick things like that because, they can do something like that if they really want to. But, like there is separation between heaven and hell, right? Here's the map. So this is one of the cities in hell. This is Pentagram City in hell. There's Purgatory, that planet with another pentagram on it for some reason. And then that up there is the gate to heaven. Whatever that means. Are you sure there are a lot of furries in games? It's the edgy people place that. Squares say we will go. It's just DBZ. Well, there is a difference in the lore, Mr. Raven, about like Hellborn, like the imps and the hellhounds are different from the sinners. Like they are people born in hell. But that begs more questions than it answers. So we're not going to dive too deep into that. It's like, I know people were making fun of the why are there deaf children in hell? But it's because that like imps are born in hell and they serve the demons in hell. And in some other cases, apparently they also serve the sinners. Again, the world building is a little mixed up, but it's not stuff that we're going to delve too deep into. But let's see. Yeah, that's the setting right there. This is one of the cities in hell, again. And this is in the uppermost layer of hell. There are lower layers of hell, which they don't tell you about that at all in HAZBIN Hotel, which is one of its bigger weaknesses, is that it doesn't build upon itself. So let's skip the setting for now and go into the characters themselves. We have Charlie, the princess of hell, naive and hopeful, cheery, happy-go-lucky, and lesbian. That's kind of all we know about her. Vaggie is Charlie's girlfriend. Also, she's a former angel. That's a spoiler at episode 6, but that, again, before that, that's Charlie's girlfriend. What else does she do? Oh, that's just Charlie's girlfriend. Okay, sure. Another main character is the radio demon, who is one of the top dogs. Let me correct that. One of the top dogs in this circle of hell, because there are layers not only to hell, but also the leadership of hell, which is something I can get behind, you know? And he's not even a demon. He's a sinner that just has a lot of power, which, again, idea that Helava and HAZBIN don't interact because Amazon would own all the intellectual property. Yeah, let's assume that's a safe assumption we can make, is assume HAZBIN and Helava Boss don't interact. Just copy Iruma. I don't know what that is. So the radio demon is one of the top dogs in this circle of hell. Mysterious but powerful. He's Charlie's benefactor. He's the one that gave her the hotel in the first place. And he is a largely mysterious figure. We can build on that. That's cool. The only one that was written okay. Iruma is a hell de facto isekai. Well, I've never seen it. I should probably pull up the characters off to the side. So, like, let's just do this. So here's the radio demon, Alistair. I like him. I think he's cool. I just saw, this is good. Fandom wiki. That's the radio demon. I saw like a huge thread on Twitter. Oh, that's a spoiler too. I saw a huge thread on Twitter about this dude complaining about all the character designs, and I'm like, honestly, that's like the least complain-worthy thing you can do is complain about the character designs. Like, okay, they're not your cup of tea. They're not my favorite, but I like them a lot. Like, they fit for the setting, you know, they all have unique silhouettes, that kind of thing. Now, that's one of the problems, Alex, is the fact that because they grew up Christian, they do this thing where they're like, oh, I know better because I read a post on r/atheism that said, if God good, then why bad thing happen? Strongest being in all of hell should be evil Hank Hill. He was able to lift 2 cans that each contained an infinite amount of propane and use them to fuel the fires. That's good. Let's see characters. Then we have, okay, there's Charlie, Vaggie, which you can kind of see in Vaggie's design, former angel with the white hair that looked like wings, kind of. Someone apparently mentioned the X over her eye being another hint as to why she's an angel, but that one didn't make sense to me at all. Like, I don't know. It's a clean burning flame in hell. Let's see, who else do we have? Angel Dust. Angel Dust is the best boy. He is one of the sinners that was sent to hell. He is living in the hotel. At first, you know, he's very abrasive and seems like, oh, he doesn't want to be there. But later you learn that he does want to get better, but he sold his soul to this sex slaver, and he's very torn up about his current situation. He's the best boy in the show, best character in the show. I love him, and I want to protect him. She was a moth in the pilot. I don't know. Maybe she was, because these character designs are weird. But yeah, Angel Dust legitimately wants to redeem himself, but he has trouble admitting it because he has trouble coping with the decisions he's made in his life. Great written character. I love him. He's just the best part of the show. In comedy scenes, he's, you know, whatever. He's used as comic relief as a background character because he's not the main focus of the show, which he should be, but we'll get into that later. Let's see. Husk was a former overlord. I think he's a little over-designed with all these, you know, dots and dongles on him, but he used to be an overlord. He sold his soul, or lost his soul, gambling to the radio demon because he was a gambler, addicted to gambling, lost everything. And there was a one-off line where he's like, I sold my soul to keep my powers, because I guess maybe he tried to gamble his powers for someone else's powers, lost, and then he's like, you know what, take my soul instead. This is what he used to look like, apparently. And now he looks like this, which is the same exact thing, except his eyebrows are turned down, which, yeah, those are his eyebrows. He's some sort of weird cat bat thing. I don't know. Angel was very underutilized, even though he was the most utilized in the show. Yeah. In the pilot, she was one of the buds, so the fact that the backstory adds also gay, also girlfriends with Charlie, also former Angel is like, come on, dog. Yeah, he is voiced by Keith David, who Princess loves, and is the only reason why she even likes the character in the first place. But he's another character that he has a lot behind him that just isn't expanded on. And his relationship with Angel Dust has a lot going on, but it's just not expanded on. I don't know why Lilith is here. Adam, well, hold on, before we get to Adam, let's see. The antagonists, we have the V's, which, wow, there are a lot of characters here, what the fuck? The V's, Valentino, I guess Velvet, and Vox. Yeah, Valentino is the sex slaver that, he's the moth, or butterfly, rather. He's the one that Angel sold his soul to. He's a powerful overlord, controls the sex industry. Velvet, literally have no idea what the fuck she does. She has one song in episode 2, and then she literally never speaks again for the rest of the show. No idea what she does, but she's apparently just as powerful as these other two guys. Vox is Alistair's rival, the radio demon's rival, because, he's a TV, and the other dude's the radio demon. TV versus radio. And he's also built up as someone who's super powerful, except we never really see why any of these people are super powerful, except for Valentino, because we actually go into Angel's backstory, and we can see, okay, Valentino, he's got something going there. The rest of these guys, like, again, Velvet, she doesn't fucking do anything in the entire show. And then Vox, he has this rivalry. They have a song about it. And then he's never seen again until the final episode, where all he does is say fuck. Like, it's literally the Vivzy Pop meme. Fuck, yeah, fuck. Oh, I want him fucking dead. Fuck this guy. I fucking hate him. It's like, oh my god, shut the fuck up. You could have done something earlier in the series, but you chose not to. Let's see. Who else do we have? Adam and the rest of the angels. So if we want to go back here, Adam, the main antagonist of the show, is Adam, the first human that God made. And he also only ever says fuck. Fuck you, you stupid dirty cunt. Fuck this, fuck you, I can't wait to fucking kill you. I hate you. It's like, dude, oh my god. He could have been a better written villain. Has been Adam was great and did nothing wrong. His martyrdom paid for Sir Pentious becoming repentious, but he was annoying. Like that was another post on Twitter I saw where it's like Adam was the hero of the show because he wanted to kill sinners. It's like, okay, yes. But because it's being told from Hell's perspective and Charlie's perspective, who's the princess of Hell, it's like, oh, he's a big old meanie. And they compound on it over and over and over again by having him be such an irredeemable asshole that it calls into question, you know, if he's like, why is he in heaven if he's such a douchebag, which is one of the main questions of the show that we'll get into later. But Adam, he could have been a much better character if he wasn't such a horrible caricature of what liberal atheists that mainly use Reddit and Twitter think about Christianity. Like, that's really what it boils down to. He should just respawn in heaven. If heaven, why douches up here? Answer, my woman in Christ, you wrote the show. Exactly. So, like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, there's... this show is not well written. But it's okay, because we're going to improve on that. And then, of course, he has, you know, legions of angels that help him kill people. A lot of them are unnamed, but he has one Loot who also hates sinners with a fiery, burning passion. And I like her. She's cool. She hates sinners, wants to kill sinners. Maybe had something going on with Adam, who apparently this is a mask, and I really hated that he had an actual face. I hate that. But yeah, a lot of the design choices too just call a lot of things into question. Like, why does his mask and the masks of the angels look like the imps in hell? Why do their masks, why do they look so similar? That spawned a theory that we won't entertain for too long, but that spawned a theory. What if this heaven, air quotes, is just another circle of hell and all of these people think that they're in heaven? That's too smart for the writers. So we're not going to entertain that anymore. Because that would make the most sense about how this foul-mouthed douchebag is in, air quotes, heaven. Because he's not actually in heaven. It's just another circle of hell. And they've deluded themselves into thinking it's heaven. That's why they can still say fuck and do all this dumb, stupid, bad shit and get away with it. Because there's no God overseeing them. But then you go back into the show and it's literally St. Peter sitting at the pearly gates. It's like, no, they're just terrible at writing. They're just really bad at everything they do. But anyway, and then we have the side characters. Satan is Charlie's gay dad. He's not actually gay, but I mean, he's definitely a theater kid, so probably gay. Nifty is the best character in the show next to Angel Dust. Nifty is an adorable little gremlin, and I love her. Look at her. She's so cute. She's just adorable. She's basically only comic relief, which is perfectly fine. And then, yeah, all those other overlords at that one weird meeting about the dead angel. Like, all of those other side characters that we don't even need to go over, because Nifty is the best girl. He's pretty gay. All right, we can get over the only gay people in hell question mark joke. That's gotten a little old. But, you know, the episodes that happened, we'll just run through them really quick. Episode 1 introduces the plot and the characters, Adam the extermination, and the point of the hotel, being redemption for the sinners. Episode 2 introduces the rival demons that are the V's. They have a little song and dance number where where Vox and the radio demons sing at each other. It's a really fun song, but they never build on that. Also, what happens in that episode is they have a meeting about, you know, oh, what happened during the last extermination. because apparently the extermination happens yearly, and the main issue is, oh, there's just going to be another extermination in 6 months instead of a year, which, whoa, that's a big and terrible thing, which, even though it's already been happening for apparently thousands and thousands of years, is only just now we're going to try to do something about it. And the reason why is because, oh wow, for the first time in literally ever, someone killed an angel during the extermination, which is pretty hard to believe because it's been going on for so long. But anyway, that's what happens in episode 2. Episode 3 builds up more about what the hotel does with, fun trust exercises. It's kind of a filler episode. Oh wait, no, the demons meeting happens in episode 3. My bad. Viv said Nifty is the only straight character in the hotel. No wonder she's perfect. Big problem is the V's hate Al, but they never do anything to undermine him. Yeah, I mean, we'll build on that later. Then episode 4, the best episode in the show, is Angel's personal story and Husk's, a little bit of Husk's backstory. And then best musical number, Poison by Angel Dust. Fantastic musical number. He's the only character that really they dive in deep to, because after this episode, it just goes back to the schizophrenic bullshit of the plot is happening way too fast. By this point, episode 5, it's been 5 months since episode 1. Episode 1 was, we are going to exterminate you in 6 months. Episode 5 is literally 5 months later. There is no scale of time, and they only tell you this in like a one-off line in the next episode. Where did all that time go, and what the fuck have they been doing? Like, hello? They introduce Satan, who's Charlie's dad, who is this weird eccentric that loves rubber ducks, because apparently in the webcomic that I've never heard of before, he's a lot more sinister, and the reason why he likes ducks is because, oh, they're insignificant, just like all the sinners in hell. And then he like crushes one or something. Like I don't fucking know. But he just has a lot of ducks in his room. I don't know why. Maybe we could pull that up. Can we pull up Lucifer? Why does he have ducks with wings? I don't care. But that's Lucifer. That's what he looks like. Sure. Why does he look like a clown with a top hat? All this bullshit trivia. The golden fiddle. He does have his golden fiddle. Apparently, he didn't go down to Georgia yet in this timeline. But what's his relationship to rubber ducks? Likes rubber ducks. Okay. Why? He coped by crafting and hoarding tons of rubber ducks. Okay, sure. He just likes rubber ducks. And his house is full of them. Also, apparently, he only ever calls Charlie once every, year. So the fact that Charlie calls her for help is like, oh, it's a big deal. He comes on down to the hotel. Alistair, the radio demon that, gave Charlie the hotel in the first place, butts heads with him and tries to fight him on, who should Charlie like more. They do this in song, which it's a fun song, but it's like, where is this coming from? Because, sure, we can infer that the radio demon gave her the hotel, but everything else is like, oh, remember everything I've ever done for you in the past few years while your father did nothing except, fuck his rubber duckies? Think of all the help I've been to you. You're like the child I've always wanted. And all of this is laid out in front of you in the next 2 minutes while they're singing at each other. And it's just horribly written. She calls him and immediately he does everything to help her. But the whole reason Al helped Charlie is because she wasn't able to go to Dad. Yeah, sure. The writer saw a Hugh episode of Jimmy Neutron. Well, hey there, Jim Jam. Have you ever wondered why there are so many gay people in hell? So yeah, that's episode 5. And then the second musical number of that episode, because every episode has 2 musical numbers, whether it's appropriate or not, is basically Charlie saying, I'm trying to follow my dream because I watched you try to follow your dream, which we didn't mention it earlier because it's fucking retarded. But the reason why Lucifer was kicked out of hell, again, no relation to the Bible. I guess more relation to, what was it you said it was, Snickers? Kabbalistic bullshit? I don't actually know. But the reason why Lucifer was kicked out of hell is because, oh, he was a creative soul, but the other angels didn't like what he was doing, so he gave humans free will. And even in this episode, episode 5, Satan even says, like, I gave the humans free will and look at what they've done with it. They're horrible people that don't deserve redemption. That's why they're here, which kind of undermines the point of the HAZBIN Hotel, which would have been a good plot to build on, you know? But instead, it's not about calling into question what this hotel is supposed to be when all of the people in hell have already made their decisions and have shown up here for reasons. But no, we have to worry about this extermination because in the next episode, Charlie asked for help to get a meeting with heaven to ask them to, hear her out about the hotel. So episode 6, they go to heaven, and while in heaven, turns out some of the angels are keeping secrets from each other. Some of the angels don't know why they're even in heaven in the first place. A lot of the background characters in heaven look like they should be background characters in hell. Like, nothing makes sense. So, main driving factor in this episode is the exterminations that have been done yearly for the past 20,000 years have been kept a secret to most of the other angels. And that is the one rule that the big sexy angel bitch tells Adam is like, oh, there's only one rule. Don't let anybody know about it. Let's see. Likes, dislikes. I want to see if I can family, friends, enemies. There's Sarah. Yeah. So we have these two seraphim, Sarah and Emily, which they're adorable. Don't get me wrong, but like their designs they're weird. You only see the angelic form for all of 2 seconds. The many eyes, but it's weird that the seraphim, who are supposed to shield themselves using their 6 wings, because if they didn't, then they would blind everyone around them because of how bright they are. They just don't care about that. But we're not pulling from the Bible, guys. We're not pulling from the Bible. So anyway, Sarah was the one. She's apparently the head seraphim, which in Bible lore is like right next to God. Not his right hand, because that's Jesus, but is supposed to be right up there next to God. Emily is also a seraphim, a little baby seraphim, but she is apparently like Sarah's underling. I don't know if it's mother-daughter relationship because one is bigger, the other smaller, or just like master-apprentice relationship. It's never mentioned, it's never built up, but Sarah is the one that told Adam, yes, you can go exterminate demons. Emily doesn't know about that, and during this weird court scene, they tell the cat's out of the bag. That's a line in one of the songs. That's, the exterminations are happening. There's going to be one next month. Sarah tries to tell Emily, like, it's not your burden to bear when they're both seraphim. They're both supposed to be top dogs. So that doesn't make sense. Apparently there's nothing Emily can do to stop it because Adam really just wants to kill demons, which, good for him. But why couldn't Sarah just be like, nah, huh? Metatron isn't a seraphim. He's something special and we don't talk about him. Who? Oh, wouldn't that simply be the Metatron? But yeah, there's so much going on in that courtroom scene that it gets way too confusing. And then on top of that, we're going to reveal that Vaggie is an ex-angel and used to kill demons alongside Adam. And her name is actually Vaggie, but for vagina, because, oh, Adam, sex joke, haha, he's so funny, isn't he, guys? Ha 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 ha. Wow, he's an asshole because he named someone after a vagina. Like, it's so terrible. Anyway, nothing gets resolved in episode 6. They get sent back to hell. And now Charlie is, in the next episode, is getting the army together to get ready for the oncoming invasion of the angels again. Charlie's side arc, as she tries to get the cannibals to be, like the frontliners, which is funny. It was a funny little subplot. But she's not thinking, oh my God, the person that I am with and have been in love with and have shared everything with murdered my people for years, systematically on end. She's just like, I can't believe she kept this secret from me. It's like, how are you what? That's your only concern? That she kept that secret from you? And there is a good scene where, this motherly character basically explains, like, obviously she's not proud of her past and didn't want that to bring that upon you and didn't probably want to relive it. And, she's also in that hotel with you looking for redemption. You think she's trying to look for redemption too? And it's like, oh, yeah. She just taps her chin like, oh, now that you mention it. She gets through this entire arc so quickly. On the other side, Vaggie, she goes to this weapons dealer, the weapons dealer from episode 3, where they have the meeting about how the angel was killed, because the weapons dealer was the one that killed the angel, because she's like this Spanish flamenco dancer that, incorporates fighting into her dancing. So she has like these stiletto high heels that are made out of angel weaponry that can apparently decapitate angels. And that's how she killed the angel. So it's just, oh yeah, apparently angel weapons can kill angels. It's like, okay, how did we not figure this out in the last 10,000 years that the angels have been killing your demons? You've had these angel weaponry on hand for apparently a really long time. I find it odd that, angels would abandon their weapons when apparently they're the only ones going down to hell and fighting and killing demons. Like, how would they lose their weapons in the first place? How did you get all these weapons in the first place? Because she had boxes and boxes and boxes of spears and swords and shields and all this shit. Apparently that just never occurred to them that, maybe they should use them in self-defense. I don't know. Cannibals were Kino. Yeah, no, the cannibals were fun. But then the arms dealer has a really sexy dance. She became a top 5 character. And after that, they meet up again at the end of the episode, Charlie and Vaggie, and they just go like, oh, it's okay. Okay. Can we back up a bit and ask why the executions take place? I think we mentioned it already, but isn't it because hell is full or something and they need to kill them? Like, that's the reason that was given. It seemed that was probably just a bullshit excuse Adam gave so he can go kill demons because I guess he's bored, like you said. But I mean, yeah, like if hell, this is one city in hell. How many other cities exist in hell? How is hell full? Like, there's no way hell is actually full. And that was just some bullshit Adam said to the Seraphim to try to, just kill some demons. That's the most likely thing. You're asking more questions than the Amazon or the writers themselves. Yeah, like there's no rhyme or reason to it. And then episode 8 is the big final battle scene. The other best boy that I forgot to mention earlier, Serpentius, he dies, comes back in heaven, because apparently all you need to do is self-sacrifice to make it to heaven. Because, what? Hold on. I'm skipping a few things. So there's a big-ass fight scene where, the cannibals and the people at the HAZBIN Hotel are killing a shitload of angels. That's cool. And then there's a big fight scene between Adam and the radio demon. The radio demon was a jobber and, escaped with his life. And then later on during the prologue, it's implied that his power is being either sapped or restrained by a deal he made with someone. So, setting up for, maybe he's more powerful than we think. He then starts to fight Lucifer, and that really begged the question, why did Lucifer never ever try to fight Adam before? Or did he try to fight Adam before, failed, thought it was fruitless, and then just never tried again? Or why hasn't Adam ever tried to kill Lucifer again? If there was a previous fight, why didn't Adam or any of the angels try to target any of the stronger sinners and demons in hell? Because Lucy didn't care about the exterminators. But why not? It's not built up in the show. We know that he doesn't really care, because again, if you go read the webcomic, he doesn't give a shit about the sinners. And even he says in the show, I gave them free will and look at what they did with it. They're here in hell. They deserve to be here. But that doesn't build up to, everyone here deserves to die. I guess it does, though. Maybe I'm just a little too upset by it. It would make sense for him to care. It would be par for the course for Satan to not care for his denizens. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I don't know about Reddit, Satan. But then Satan fights Adam. Adam loses. Adam gets killed. Which... it still begs the question, what happens to angels and devils that die? Where do they go? Because that question gets answered because Serpentius goes to, sacrifice himself in the battle against Adam. He dies, and then he respawns in heaven. So that begs the question, is Adam going to get reborn in hell? That also begs the question, what happens to all the other sinners that get killed in hell? Do they just respawn in hell? Do some of them respawn in heaven? What happens to them? There has to be something. Do they go to the planet Purgatory? Is that where they go? If that's the case, then why kill them in the first place? Is it because Adam's bored? There are so many more questions than answers being set up. And then one of the final things is Adam's, girl, Lutz. She goes to this beach, I guess in heaven, walks up to Lilith and says, all right, the deal is done. Adam's dead. Go back to hell. It's what does that mean? It's setting up for the next season, sure, but what does that mean? They go to mega hell. He only intervenes to save Charlie because he's actually the best dad in the series. That's also fair. He would care more for his daughter than everyone else in hell. And then, Charlie has a good scene where she starts to fight, but that's when Lucifer steps in. But these are all just the big brush strokes. We're not gonna nitpick specific lines. We're not gonna nitpick specific scenes or songs or whatever. But those are the big significant strokes. And the problems in the show, the long short of it is there's no time to breathe in the show. Shit just keeps happening back to back to back. And a lot of it is explained away through one line of dialogue or a song. So the problems, most of the songs suck and do not move the plot, and the ones that do move it too quickly. Most of the characters are forgettable and disappear as soon as they're introduced. There's no time to breathe between introducing the plot and resolving the issue. The looming threat has not time to settle in and attempts to resolve it quickly as fuck. All side plots exist for less than the length of an episode, and the lasting consequences are non-existent. I think it was episode 6, the side plot in episode 6 is that Angel Dust and everyone else at the HAZBIN Hotel goes out with one of Angel Dust's friends. And while they're out, he tries to be the responsible one. He doesn't do drugs. He doesn't, overdrink. He saves Nifty from drinking too much and getting herself into trouble. He meets Valentino at the bar and tells him to go fuck himself because Valentino only controls him in the studio, which is a cool tidbit that we weren't given earlier. Again, Angel is just the best written character in the show. Everything revolving around him is amazing. There needs to be more of that, but that was like the side plot in episode 6. And that pulls up a couple of lines that we will nitpick. The first one being when the angels ask what gets a person, what gets a soul to heaven, Adam, right off the cuff, not really knowing, makes a little list. And I think it was like, what the hell was his list again? I know one of them was like, stick it to the man, be selfless. I don't know. It was some stupid little list that, you know, just general good things. And then when Angel Dust performed all the things on his list, that begged the question, then what is he doing in hell in the first place? To which Adam responds in song, they made their bed while they were alive, now they're lying in it. So the other one-off line that really ticked me off in this episode is when they are at the bar, Angel Dust gets offered the drugs by his friend, whose name I forget, Cherry Bomb, I think. And Husk, the gambler that, they shared their backstories to each other, him and Angel, they're friends now. Husk goes, I thought you were better than that. And it's like, bro, we literally only had one song with both of you together, and there has been nothing else between you. Where is this coming from? How much did you two grow in the apparent 5 months from that first episode, from episode 4 to episode 6? Like, we didn't see any of that, so we have no idea how deep their relationship goes. So a line like that comes off as really douchey. Like, it's like, oh, you want to throw away all your hard work so far? It's like, what hard work? What hard work have we seen? We haven't seen any hard work. Like, what are you talking about? There's been 5 months of bonding. It's super deep. So that's just another one-off line that pissed me off. And then, in episode 8 or 7 and 8, while they're preparing for the battle, they're like best of friends holding hands. And near the end of the battle, Husk is like, hey, you're all right, kid. It's like, where the fuck is this coming from? Maybe if we had like 5 episodes of just them two hanging out, growing to know each other more, then maybe that would make sense. But lines like that make no sense. It just doesn't make sense. So those are all the problems in the show. A lot of people have said online that apparently she was only ever held to 8 episodes. So I'm going to rewrite those 8 episodes with apparently the plot that they were supposed to be writing, which is this, angels are going to exterminate the denizens of hell. So the plot of the show is going to exterminate denizens of hell. HAZBIN Hotel. The thing about that I would make different is this is going to be the first extermination. Not there have been 10,000 years of extermination and everyone was too retarded to do anything about it. I think it would be a lot heavier hitting if, in that episode 1, because, Lucifer sends Charlie to the meeting with the angels in his stead because he's busy. In episode 1, Charlie goes to the meeting and it's just, bureaucratic nonsense like, oh, how's the status of hell? How's the status of heaven? What's going on? But they imply in the show it's been happening for 10,000 years. I think it would be heavier hitting if it would be the first extermination. And that would also explain why it's a well-hidden secret in the court scene later. So this is the first extermination, and it's going to be happening in 1 year. That gives us time to settle in with the characters, and that is the overarching looming threat. What do you mean they're going to exterminate us? What is going to happen? How are we going to defend ourselves? What are the implications of angels coming down to hell to kill sinners? Like, it gets better questions on the mind than what we have been asking ourselves earlier. Like, why would the angels come down to exterminate sinners when heaven and hell are completely separate? Why would they need to, come down and exterminate the sinners. And that's where we can answer those questions with that one bit of backstory that I haven't mentioned yet. Apparently, yeah, that's another thing too. Would actually be better if heaven refused to talk to hell so they didn't know why. Start with a mystery that can be answered without ending the story. Yes. And this is where I think it would be a good way to introduce that, Radio Demon has been missing for 7 years. Which, if he's been missing for 7 years, then how has he been helping Charlie for so long with her little hotel pet project? And why is he so hell-bent on competing with Satan to be her father figure? If apparently in that part of the timeline, they've only been with each other for 5 months, how does he get off saying shit like, oh, you're like the daughter I never had? Like, maybe, obviously to grind her actual dad's gears, and because if he makes a deal with Charlie, then he has access to Lucifer, the literal king of hell. But if he's been gone for 7 years, then, like, that relationship doesn't make as much sense. Anyway, that 7 years tidbit can be built on Radio Demon and Lilith have been missing for 7 years. Does this have anything to do with that? That's way too smart for the writers, I know, but this is my plot now. Why did he disappear at the same time as Lilith, and why does none of this make sense? Exactly. So the new overarching, like, we can do something instead like this. So episode 1 is just establishing HAZBIN Hotel as a place for sinners to redeem themselves. And maybe we even introduce that relationship of Charlie and Lucifer here early with, maybe even just mention it a few times. Charlie is chasing this dream because of the influence of her dad. Chasing his dream. Do something like that. Then in episode 2, meeting with the angels, Adam tells her they will come down to exterminate them. That sets it up for the rest of the season. So episode 1 isn't spent rushing through what the hotel is and isn't spent rushing through what the plot is going to be. We have time to establish, okay, the first 20 minutes of the show, we're getting to know the characters. We're getting to know what, everything is going on here. Why, Charlie is trying to do this. Charlie, in this meeting, clap back, saying she's trying her hotel to redeem sinners so they don't have to be exterminated, but Adam tells her to fuck off, you stupid cunt, because that's exactly what he would say, and that he can't wait to kill everyone. Should they abandon / redo the pilot? I don't think they should abandon it, because that can be a driving force. That does kind of introduce the question, can sinners be redeemed, which is what heaven is going to be asking themselves anyway. Fighting someone with daddy issues makes sense because it's Satan, right? So then after that, episode 3 through 6 can be done more establishing the characters, establishing Charlie's struggle with this situation, and maybe even sooner than episode 5, she can call her dad to set up a meeting with heaven to try to move this along. Should set up events in heaven where Emily looks down to see what Adam is doing and sees Charlie and thinks her idea could work, so she starts trying to push the idea upstairs. Yeah, we could have this be like simultaneous thing going. It doesn't have to just be, heaven and hell separately. If this plot is going to involve both settings, then we have to introduce both settings sooner. So yeah, episode 3 could be something like it could be Adam goes back up to heaven and in his meeting with the Seraphs says something like, oh, the dumb bitch princess is trying to make this hotel, trying to redeem sinners. Sounds like total bullshit, but I don't know. So after hearing that, Emily takes a peek at the hotel and tries to support them from Heaven. I misspelled heaven. Yeah, because again, why would heaven even care what hell has to say? Like, why does Lucifer have the pull he has with heaven when he's an excommunicated angel? Doesn't make sense. So here we can get a peek at what heaven is like early on, and it gives us time to establish what heaven is going to be like. You know, why does heaven look like hell? In its characters and denizens. That's a question that could be answered early, and Emily can even say something like, their people are the same as our people, except ours are up here in heaven. Something stupid like that. Meanwhile, in hell, we can build up of the characters, their backstories, and subplots. We can do a bit more build up of their characters, their backstories, and their subplots. And not introduce any other villains for now. Maybe in episode 4, this is when Charlie asks her dad for help again to get a meeting with Heaven, because apparently she needs to go through her dad to do it. In this, we can still have, Radio Demon versus Dad and helping Charlie, jealousy, nonsense type stuff. I don't know, but I think that was a good element that should be built on, and we can build on that type of stuff early on, like lines from the Radio Demon being like, "Oh, look at this, I'm helping you for free." A show covering the Second War for the Throne would be awesome, assuming the writer did any research. We could have the question of why does Heaven want to meet and then go back in time to episode 1, but see it from Heaven and have an episode or 2 on the other side. Yeah, we could probably do something like that. But we could ask, why does Heaven and Hell have these meetings anyway? This is the first time Charlie is going to one, and be boring obvious to Lucifer is new to her. So it would have to be explained. Why do these meetings happen between heaven and hell? I don't know if we need to see it from the angel's point of view, but I think, because that's another weird thing about this setting, is this little gold palace in the middle, that's an embassy for the angels to come and visit hell. Why would they want to visit hell in the first place? North and South Korea dynamic that just doesn't exist. We should spend time with Emily because Emily is cute. All right, fair. Very fair. We can have a heaven episode with Emily. I was thinking of doing that. Episode 5 goes to heaven, and instead of only spending like one episode there, that's very quick. The first episode could be Charlie and Emily hang out and they learn more about and hell from each other. Find out there are more. So, like, episode 5 could be a little bit more filler. Charlie going to heaven, Charlie and Emily hanging out, Vaggie getting jealous. Like, we can keep the Vaggie as a secret angel backstory, because, like, the entire time they're in heaven, she can just be uncomfortable. We can keep that on the back burner, too, like Vaggie being a former angel. But Charlie going to heaven, hanging out with Emily, and, you know, Vaggie being uncomfortable because she's back in heaven and doesn't want anyone to recognize her, which Adam will. End of the episode with the cliffhanger that Vaggie is a former angel. Have Vaggie be the demon on Charlie's shoulder trying to convince her that heaven's up to no good. That's actually a really good dynamic right there. That's a really good dynamic. Angle. Like that would be a good back and forth to have. Emily being happy-go-lucky angel, like, oh, what could possibly go wrong? And Vaggie, having been a former angel, being like, I know they're up to no good. Like, but I guess if there were no exterminations previously, that would again beg a question. Why is Vaggie a former angel? Which we can retcon that. We can just say, like, maybe Adam wanted her to do something and she said no. And he goes, all right, then fuck you, tears off her wings, sends her down to hell. You know, we can do something like that. But then I guess that wouldn't have the same impact of her, you know, regretting her decisions as an angel. That's something that could be reworked. Maybe she's just a fallen angel in hell. Yeah, like, that's something that can be expanded on later. Right now, I want to get the big brush strokes down. So, episode 5, we can end the episode. Uh-oh, Vaggie is a former angel. Side plot can be... like, the side plot that they go back and forth with can be just more shenanigans with the hotel, getting to know the characters better. You know, what the hell is it? What do the mice come out and play when the cat's away? Like, it could even be contained within the hotel. Like, after Charlie goes away, Cherry Bomb shows up the same exact way, but they stay in the hotel. Cherry Bomb tries to get them to fuck around in the hotel. Like, hey, let's just take out the supporting beam and watch the whole thing come down. Hey, let's just break all the glass in the building. And, you know, that's when you can get a better sense of they care about the hotel. They care about the place that they're in, and they care about what they're doing there. Have Razzle and Dazzle actually exist? So we can actually go back to some of these side plots right now, actually. So episode 1 establishes HAZBIN Hotel. So I guess there won't be much of a side plot in this episode, except maybe the side plot is something having to do with the radio demon. Like, the side plot can be him confronting some of his old enemies, like the V's, to set them up as a threat later. Maybe not in the same season, but it's like, oh, okay, this benefactor has some baggage. Establish that he's been gone for 7 years. Yeah, establish, like, we can establish more about him. Yeah, set them up as a threat. And then show that Angel has a rope tying to them. Yeah, we can do that in another future episode, like I said. So the side plot of episode 1 is the radio demon confronts his old enemies, establishes he's been gone for 7 years, which sets up the V's as a threat, and kind of introduces his power. It'll be fun. I hope so. What else could he do in the limited time we would give him? I guess just establish that he is a major player. Side plot of episode 2, the meeting with the angels, Adam tells her they'll come down to exterminate. Charlie can clap back, saying she's trying her hotel to redeem sinners so they don't have to be exterminated, but Adam tells her to fuck off, you stupid cunt, and that he can't wait to kill everyone. In this episode, maybe not immediately we give them, you know, a tie, the angels' ties to Valentino. What's up, baby? Yeah. But in this one, we can like set up side character interactions while Charlie is gone. We can even have Vaggie running the place. And provide a little bit of characterization for Vaggie. Like, we got a little bit of it in that, like, Trust Fall episode, where she's, like, obviously military background, but here, like, Vaggie, I guess, again, we'd have to rework her backstory a little bit, but Vaggie, like, we can still give her a military-esque background. It doesn't have to be, you know, maybe she was just in the military in her old life before she was born again, or I don't know, apparently heaven needs its military to stop hell and as the existential threat, so maybe she was in the angelic military. Like, have that side plot be more centered on Vaggie, because she is Charlie's number 2. Or she's Charlie's number 1, rather. Like, she is the second in command there. So let's show why she's the second in command. And then even, like, at the end of the episode, the, you know, resolving bits after Charlie comes back and she can see that, you know, things have gotten done, but not in the way that she wants them to be done, have them come to, you know, a better understanding of each other. Something along those lines. Episode 3, you know, we get Emily takes a peek at the hotel. There, that's exactly what Adam's gonna say. That dumb bitch of a princess is trying to redeem sinners? Can you believe it? What a stupid bitch. I mean, I can do Adam. Yeah. That was the joke I made earlier. Like, I don't know if you've been listening, but in reworking the script, we're gonna establish heaven a lot earlier and actually make Emily like another main character. So episode 3 would be, you know, after the meeting with Charlie, Adam comes back to heaven to give his report to the seraphim, and he says, "That dumb bitch princess of hell is trying to redeem sinners? What a dumb bitch. She calls it the HAZBIN Hotel or some dumb fucking thing." Because, you know, you have to say fuck at least once if you're in a Vizzy Pop show. So that establishes Emily taking a peek at the hotel, and she goes to bat, seeing that Charlie is trying to do something good, and gives heaven a reason to hear out Charlie later in the show. And then episode 4, Charlie asks her dad to get a meeting with heaven. We basically just accelerate that to episode 4 instead of episode 5. Radio Demon versus Dad and helping Charlie, jealousy, nonsense type stuff. And we could also put here the, you know, side plot, Angel's backstory with Husk. Don't change anything. Just completely port it the same exact way. Angel and Husk, whatever they're doing on the side. That's the side plot. That way we get more time with more characters from the hotel, and we still get those strong emotional beats. It shows us that, oh, there is more than a connection, more than one connection to these V's, their power, and we can see their power. Like, we don't need Charlie to go in and fuck with things. Maybe we can just have, you know, Angel Dust doing his thing, going to the bar afterwards, complaining about work. They have their little tussle. Angel Dust goes back to work or something like that just to get away from Husk. He messes up some lines. Valentino smacks him around a bit, you know. It doesn't need Charlie to get in the way to piss off Valentino. Valentino's a fucking bitch. Nifty should have a side story with Razzle Dazzle and Kiki. Absolutely.
Oh my
yes.
God, that would be awesome. Oh, especially before Razzle or
before they die.
Whichever one dies.
So then back to episode 5. Charlie goes to heaven, and it's not going to be only for one episode. Charlie and Emily hang out. She brings Vaggie along with her. We're going to try to rework Vaggie's backstory so that she's still a fallen angel, but she's uncomfortable being in heaven. And at first you think, oh, she's jealous because Charlie's hanging out with Emily. Ooh, but then it, you know, we learn that later at the end of the episode. But Snickers brought this up, having Emily be the angel on Charlie's shoulder and Vaggie being the demon on her shoulder, being like, no, heaven's up to no good. And, you know, Emily being like, no, but I want to help you, that kind of thing. So that would work.
Yeah.
So, you know, Emily, seeing that Charlie's a good person, asks, you know, why are you in hell if you're a good person? Charlie claps back, asking, why is Adam in heaven when he's such a massive douche? And then, you know, they can build on that. We're asking that question directly in the show, which is going to beg an answer. And then the side plot, I said, can be more shenanigans with the hotel. Like, we could still have Cherry Bomb come out, but maybe move that Cherry Bomb side plot down. You know, give a little bit more time from Angel's backstory to something else happening. So this is where probably where we can put the This is probably where we're gonna put the Nifty and the animals.
Like, you're the one rewriting it, but like, I noticed that when Razzle and or Dazzle, I don't remember who, whenever one of them dies, like the entire like fandom blew up because they're like, oh no, baby, but like I feel like they weren't even in the show.
Yeah,
in the background. They
weren't, like, they were barely in the background. I barely remember them from the one scene that Lucifer pets them, you know?
Yeah.
Should Vagatha even go to heaven with her? Maybe have Al go with her instead and potentially try to have him get Emily under his sway? Really show that he's capable of manipulation? I think it's early for that.
Mm-hmm.
We could probably do something like that in season 2 when, like, setting up the V's as the existential threat in season 2. Charlie could probably try to go to heaven to get help from Emily. That's when she brings Al with her. We can save that for season 2.
Are you keeping it to where you only have the amount of episodes they have?
Yeah, right now I'm only keeping it to 8 episodes.
Okay.
So in the ideal version, it'll be like 20. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how much
I mean, like, you would like.
Yeah.
Many.
Like the first 10 would be heaven, then the next 10 would be the V's or something, or even reverse it. Have the V's be first and then heaven, you know? It was dumb to me that Vag wasn't recognized by anyone but Adam.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? The writers are not good. But let's see. Yeah, like the Nifty Razzle Dazzle Kiki side plot, episode 5, that would be adorable. Episode 6. Let's see. Episode 6 is court meeting in heaven. I don't know what kind of... They could even do something cute, like give Nifty a song with the animals. That would be adorable. Anyway, episode 6 is the court meeting in heaven. Shit hits the fan when Emily finds out about the extermination in the same way the original show. It's the question, what gets someone to heaven? Well, so the main plot of episode 6 is just gonna be like episode 6 from the last show, basically. But a little bit more stretched out so that we have more time to breathe with, you know, the overwhelming power of heaven. All of those angels sitting in the court, they were only background characters. None of them had anything going except for the 2 seraphim, which were Emily and the bigger lady. I'm not having the Overlord meeting. Not at all. No Overlord meeting. But that was the other thing I changed about the show, is that upcoming is going to be the first extermination, which is why it's a much bigger deal to try to sort this shit out than the last 50,000 exterminations, you know?
Yeah.
So in this one, let's see. Yeah, it works out perfectly. So they can have the side plot be the same again, where, okay, they're using, what's his face? Angel Dust as the example. And then we can still have the reveal that not every angel knew about the upcoming extermination. Can still have the reveal that Vaggie is a fallen angel. And then, like, use the last 5 or so minutes of the episode the relationship with Charlie and Vaggie is strained due to the breach of trust, not telling her that damning secrets. Ha-ha! How does Severus Snape fit into the plot? He kills Dumbledore. Duh. But, basically, the episode can stay the exact same as the entire court scene, just stretched out a little bit more, have more debate, which helps ask and answer more questions about the setting, because that was one of the major problems, is we don't have enough time to breathe between asking a question and then not even getting an answer, just going on to the next question. Here, at the very least, we can have them deliberate more so on, like, you know, asking the other angels, well, what do you think got you to heaven? It's like, well, I was a banker and I didn't really do anything in my life, so I guess being a generally okay person. Ask another angel, what got you into heaven? Well, I did charity work every weekend, so maybe that was it. Ask another person, I prayed in church, but you can't do that. This is Reddit, so ask another person, like, you know, I used to be a slut, but then I stopped doing that. Okay, well, regular humans can obviously be redeemed. That's why they come to heaven in the first place. And then, you know, Adam, how did you get into heaven? Like,
I was already in hell once.
Didn't get the snake joke. No, I did not. And then they can ask the question, well, how did this person get into hell? Well, Angel Dust originally got into hell because he was a sex addict and a drug abuser. Now he's trying to redeem himself. And then they can be like, okay, he already made his decisions in life. That's why he's in hell. And then that gives room on the floor for Charlie to debate. Yes, but even in hell, these people don't want to stay here, seeing that their mistakes have gotten them in such a horrible place, and they want to redeem themselves and want that second chance. And then they can clap back. Well, they were given 1,000,000 second chances in their real life. Why didn't they take them while they were still alive in the real world? It feels like they don't even reference the fact that these people died and were sent to these locations.
Not up until Penchus dies.
So the angels are sinners, but for heaven, shouldn't they be akin to the hellborn? You're right about that. Most of the angels on the court would be, you know, born in heaven or born from the power of God. But again, they don't touch on God or Jesus at all in the show. So let's keep it that way. But I guess, you know, asking just the regular people, I guess then, you know, the sinners that were in heaven, they can ask the people in heaven too. That's what I meant by the angels. I know people don't become angels, but again, they're so inconsistent with the biblical lore anyway. But I don't think it really matters. But you know what I meant, though.
You know what?
What?
Okay, I know it's a busy show and they have to say fuck all the time.
Yeah.
But and like you said, they're not consistent with like actual Bible lore and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. The redeemed, the virtuous,
you told me that, you know, before heaven was opened up, you know, before Jesus, you know, died for our sins and opened heaven and brought everyone out of hell, you told me Adam went to hell, right?
Yeah.
It makes me wonder if, okay, they're not that smart, but it makes me wonder if his douchebag character is because he was already in hell once.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It just dawned on me. I was like, you told me he was in hell before.
Yeah, no, that's really good.
Because no one else is a douchebag, right?
No one else seems to be a douchebag. Yeah.
And so far they haven't really shown any other like big name from the Bible, other than Saint, who is it, Peter?
Yeah. What if everyone just goes to hell? I don't know how we can build off of that, but that is a good thing.
No, but yeah, you don't have to build off of it. I just kind of thought of it, and maybe that, again, they're not that smart, probably.
No, the writers are not that smart.
That's why he's a douchebag.
Yeah, yeah. So Adam is a douchebag because before Jesus saved everyone and freed them from hell, Adam was the first human in hell. That makes sense.
Yay, I'm smart for once.
That would set up why he's a douchebag and why he wants to exterminate the demons because he hated his time in hell and wants revenge. That's really good setup right there.
Yay.
Hotel. Actually fleshing out a character? I know.
Oh, that's not angel dust?
Well, Husk got a little bit.
He did.
Let me know if the fan is too loud.
It's not. Oh, wait, I thought you were talking to me. And I'm like,
no, I'm talking to chat. All right, so after that, episode 7 can still be something along the lines of, you know, getting everyone ready for the ensuing battle. Because in the side plots, we've spent more time with the characters. We can get... I don't know how to flesh this one out. Like, we could still... I don't want Charlie going to Cannibal Town, even though that was enjoyable. We can... Maybe not the V's, but we can have Charlie, Vaggie, Radio Demon going to other overlords to ask for help.
I still like the Camilla Carmen.
I do like her, but we aren't doing the meeting with the overlords, so this would like be her introduction, if anything. So we can introduce all of the other overlords here. What's up, YouTube chat? Is it purposefully repeating lines? Or are you people just writing the same message twice? Maybe it's my internet. But alright, so we can introduce all the other overlords here as they go searching for help. Like, they go to the arms dealer to get weapons, go to, you know, another overlord to get people, like, you know, Charlie did, except they do it as a group this time. That way we can get more group interactions. Again, there's only been 7 episodes so far, so we're not going to get too much from it. No, it's in the YouTube chat, Molotov. I guess talking about HAZBIN Hotel really brings out the weirdos.
It really does. It really does.
Everyone is desperate because it was the first. Yeah. Like, everyone would be more willing to help because it's the first. Maybe. and they don't know what to expect. Some of them might be like, no, we don't want any part of it. We're going to go into hiding. Some of them might be like, well, the only thing we know how to do is fight, so let's fight. And then, of course, like, maybe they go to, like, finally they go to the V's. Even if Radio Demon doesn't want to. And we can have the V's be like, fuck no, we hope you die. The V's are vehemently against working together. Ha ha! Very good. There is no side plot for this one because we're going to have everyone together, everyone working together. And any, interactions will be, going from overlord to overlord. Maybe they start to get exasperated. They start to get on each other's nerves and see how they overcome that. So that gives us more time to establish, like, yes, they have been growing together. They have been enjoying their time together. And, if this was them a year ago, or, we can keep it to 6 months or a year. I don't really think that kind of timeline matters. But, like, if it was them before they met each other at the hotel, they would have just been like, oh, fuck you, and left, But because they like each other and they want to work together, it's like, all right, let's get through this and then we can deal with it. And then the final episode is big battle. It can be, oh yeah, and also during this time, Charlie is still upset with Vaggie, but they need each other in the upcoming battle and put the breach of trust behind them. For now. Because women. Season 2, she's going to bring this up again in an argument, and it's going to break their relationship. We can set it up that instead of fixing it, Charlie just says something like, let's put this behind us for now. We have bigger fish to fry. And then Vaggie is just like, oh, okay. Even though Vaggie is definitely the one doing the punching in that lesbian relationship. Does Lucy show up? I think he does, but I don't think he just straight up, like, embarrasses Adam. So, getting into it now. Episode 8, the final episode, is going to be a big battle. And then, from there, we can still have Adam dies, the cat dies, or some dumb bullshit. Like, we can keep episode 8 largely the same. I keep forgetting about Sir Pentious, but he's obviously a character in the show. We can have that happen as well. I don't know. He doesn't have a winning record against Heaven. That could be one of the things is like, maybe Lucifer doesn't show up for a while and Charlie has to call her or call him. And he's like, babe, I already got kicked out of Heaven once. I don't know if I can fight them again. Oh, Sir Pentious was the Snape joke. Oh. I keep forgetting about him. I love him, but I forget about him. I mean, if we're keeping the show and the side characters largely the same, he can just be, another one of those guys in the background for comedic relief. Because it seems like Pentious and Nifty were comic relief. So episode 8, big battle. They're struggling. Some overlords come to help, but die in the battle. Lucifer is afraid to help because he already got his ass kicked once, but his daughter needs him, so he overcomes his fear of the heavenly host. He overcomes his fear of Fights in the battle. Have a little bit more than just him showing up and rescuing Charlie out of nowhere. He's in the background till the second season. Delay his arc makes it harder for his noble sacrifice. Exactly, yeah, like, we build him up longer so his sacrifice hurts a lot more. Because he was also... I don't know how much of an overlord he was. He only showed up in, like, that first episode and then got smacked.
He was trying to become...
Oh, he wanted to become an overlord. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so sorry to cut you off. But
no, thank you.
In the pilot, the big battles that they're having, right, with Cherry Bomb, you have Angel Dust and everything that happens before Angel Dust actually transfers himself into the hotel. Yeah. All of these little guys are fighting each other to try to get this area so that they can become the overlord of the area, to basically show themselves like, hey, I'm a big bad, now I have some land, basically. Yeah. Like that's what was happening. He was trying to become an overlord.
Like a Chinese feudal warlord.
But yeah.
No death for Serpentius yet, but maybe maybe Emily sends angels to help, but that wouldn't make sense. Like, who would want to help?
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't make sense. Even in Reddit hell. But Emily doesn't want to sit by and do nothing. So maybe she tries to go down and convince the other angels to stop attacking. The battle's a stalemate and Heaven cuts their losses and retreats. Emily can use that to show how they need a different option. That's a great idea.
I was about to say, because when this fight is happening, right, like the big fight,
yeah,
they know about it. Adam even said in the song, I'll be there in 1 month.
Yeah.
She should have already known. So it makes me wonder why she didn't.
Well,
maybe
Emily,
Sarah stopped her or something?
Maybe Sarah did stop her, but at least here... stalemate.
Because you trying to put her in yours, now it makes me start wondering, why didn't she go down?
Yeah. So, yeah, the battle becomes a stalemate, which lends credence to Emily saying that this isn't the correct answer, standing up for Charlie in the hotel. Do we want to kill Adam here? Because we can have him come back in hell. I think. What does Sarah want? Is she from Buenos Aires? And I say kill them all! It's not really clear what Sarah wants, because in the show, she's like, I don't want this to be the decision. It's a difficult decision to make. Like, why does she care about the people of hell so much that it's breaking her apart?
Because she wants to make sure nothing happens to Emily.
That's still...
In the show itself, that's why.
I mean, that still doesn't really make sense, because why would anything happen to Emily? Why would the burden of knowing sinners are dying in hell burden an angel who is already in heaven? Like, why should that matter to them? That's stupid. Gotta purge all the heretics, Jim Jam. Chaos isn't gonna purge itself, Jim Jam. We can have, battle ends when Adam dies. Angels fall into disarray and retreat. We can have Adam die here because I think it would make more sense to not have him be available or have him as a surprise enemy in the second season. My Hugh has too much walking. I've been doing more walking lately. And then, not 9. Setup for next season is some overlords die. Power vacuum ensues. V's gain more power. V's gain more power. We can still have like the Adam and Radio Demon fight go the same way. Radio Demon gives hints about his deal and his power. We can still have Lilith show up on the beach, whatever. So the setup for the next season would be, now that some of the overlords died in the battle against the angels, there's a power vacuum in some areas of the city. Radio Demon is hurt in this battle, so he can't take advantage of it, but the V's who sat out can. Adam shouldn't die yet? Well, I was thinking in season 2, we can set something up like Adam dies, but when he comes back in hell, he's an overlord. And that could be like the reveal at the end of season 2, leading into season 3, where it's Adam versus Charlie again, or Adam versus the Radio Demon again. And that would be season 3 is, you know, for the becoming the sole overlord of Pentagram City. Is it going to be Adam, who's regained his power and has now tripled down on his hatred for demons? Or is it going to be the Radio Demon who, I mean, we still don't know what his deal is. We don't know if he has what his literally what his deal is. So Loot should lose an arm. Fair enough. But yeah, I think that's a good setup for the next season. And this is only with, you know, the 8 episodes that we're given. What the songs are going to be, who cares? Not my issue. What the actual script is going to be, I would need to oversee that because those script writers are fucking ass, bro. But I think this is a really, really well established way to do it. It gives more time to breathe. You don't have, strangely enough, like that entire musical number with the V's setting them up as the villains when there's clearly a bigger threat happening, but establishing them in a small way, like with, you know, episode 1 side plot, episode 4's side plot with Valentino's power. Maybe have another side plot where maybe in episode 5, Nifty, Razzle Dazzle, and Kiki, you know, break out of the hotel and it's Nifty's job to find them, and they come across the one chick who literally had 0 lines. What the fuck was her name?
What did she look like?
She was the 3rd in the V crew.
Oh,
Velvet.
Velvet, yeah.
It's like maybe they accidentally run into Velvet, and it turns out Velvet's kind of dopey or dorky. Like, I give Velvet something here.
I know, even in the main one, they didn't even give her anything. Oh, but the side plot with Nifty Dazzle, I thought of it earlier, but it'd be cute if their side plot was Nifty gets all of the pets to try to help her exterminate all the cockroaches, and they're just going around and trying to get them, but there's like they just can't get the cockroaches.
Either that or like one cockroach goes outside and then they just start killing all of the bugs outside too or something. I don't know, something silly.
Damn, it's hot in here. Fuck, man.
It should first be working to kill the bugs in the hotel, and then they kill the Roach Lord. Right? They kill an overlord on accident because they need to kill. And then on the way to the Roach Overlord to find out where all these bugs are coming from. Who knows? Maybe, because again, we need to set up the V's for season 2. Vox already has his rivalry with the Radio Demon. We already have, you know, Valentino has that chain on Angel Dust. Give Velvet something, and I think we can do that here by running into Nifty. She doesn't know who Nifty is, and Nifty doesn't know who she is, but she likes Nifty and gets recruited into killing bugs somehow. And then they kill the cockroach overlord. They'd have to go to Berlin for that. Yeah, let's actually make that a little bit more solid.
funny how you mentioned how Nifty doesn't know who Velvet is, because she really doesn't know who the bees are.
Yeah, she doesn't know anything. Velvet should be the liaison trying to get into the circles of other overlords. It seems like what they wanted her to be, because she shows up for Vox and Valentino, right? Or just Vox? I don't remember. Oh, both of them? Yeah, so she represents the other two as well. So she's probably in a meeting with the cockroach overlord, and then... Yeah, we can do something like that. And then that can be their first meeting, is Nifty just breaks in, stabs the fucking cockroach overlord to death, and then Velvet's just like, well, that was pretty cool. I guess this is my area now. Right, but they did it wrong and also not at all. Yeah. So in this iteration, we have, okay, let's just go through it one more time. So episode 1, establish HAZBIN Hotel as a place for sinners to redeem themselves. Charlie is chasing this dream because of the influence of her dad chasing his dream. Ask, why does heaven and hell have these meetings anyway? When Charlie is supposed to go to the meeting, yeah, let me... Charlie is tasked with to go to the meeting with heaven. Ask, why does heaven and hell have these meetings anyway? This is the first time Charlie is going, and one that might be boring, obvious, so Lucifer, so this is new to her. So that'll be like near the end of the episode. The side plot is the radio demon confronting his old enemies, the V's, establish that he's been gone for 7 years, sets up the V's as a threat, establish his own power and strength, and I don't know, maybe he's out running errands to get stuff for the hotel. Or he'll say, like, in passing, oh, I'm on a special mission for the Princess of Hell. And that makes the V's jealous, that kind of thing. We can flesh that out another time. What is Satan's dream? I don't know, some fucking dumb shit. Did they ever establish what his dream was? It was just like...
I don't...
Because in the intro of the show, they're like, oh, he was a creative soul that wanted to help create the world. So I guess his... dream is to create the world? I don't know. Let's look it up. Personality. Possesses a grandiose and dramatic nature, acting very over the top. He switches between being silly and theatrical. Lucifer was an idealistic dreamer whose accidental creation of hell and subsequent banishment to it caused him to give up his dreams.
I thought hell was created because of all of the
angels rising up. Well, the lore of the Bible is gonna be, they're not following the Bible. So apparently in this world, it was never expanded on, but Lucifer accidentally created hell, and for doing so was banished there. That makes no sense. Anyway, after he and Lilith separated, Lucifer went into isolation, fell into depression. Coped by crafting and hoarding tons of rubber ducks, spending years in his home. This obsession caused him to become estranged from his daughter to the point where he barely calls Charlie. So I guess his dream was to become a creator of worlds. He hardly rules over his subjects and leaves them to their own devices. He dislikes the sinners. Although he understands his daughter's interest in rehabilitating sinners, Lucifer is cynical about the idea. He attempted to redeem them in the past, stating that Charlie doesn't know when he tried this all before, and that his dreams were too hard to defend. Since heaven was so unwilling to listen to him in the past, he does not want Charlie to go through the same thing. Yeah, that was mentioned in the song. Okay, so he's a dreamer, but he's not the only one. He should be shot in the fucking chest like John Lennon did too. Anyway, so episode 2 is the meeting with the angels. Adam tells her that they will come down to exterminate them in this meeting. Charlie says, don't do that, because I'm setting something up actually to try to rehabilitate sinners. He goes, shut the fuck up, you stupid cunt, and he can't wait to kill everyone. We can even maybe have a few lines about how Adam hates being back in hell again. Which is, you know, like have a few lines like, oh, Adam hates being in hell. He hates coming down for these meetings. And then later it's revealed, oh, he was already in hell. So these lines established early on are not just he hates being in hell. It's he hates being in hell because he used to be here. And then while Charlie is gone, Vaggie is running the place to set her up as a military mind, and she's too hard on the sinners, has to pull back a bit, show why she's the second in command, show why Charlie likes and trusts her. I don't know how to do that off the top of my head, but, you know, using this opportunity to establish, you know, Charlie's right-hand girl in Vaggie, this would be a good opportunity to do so while Charlie is not in the house. Lucy is literally just Melkor from the Similarian. I wouldn't know. I've never read it. All right, episode 3. Because Adam comes from the meeting and goes, oh, that stupid bitch wants to set up a hotel to redeem sinners. It's fucking stupid. So of course I told her that's stupid. And then they go, oh, how did the rest of the meeting go? And then Adam is, you know, stammers like, oh, well, you know, just bureaucratic stuff, you know, whatever. But, you know, the main seraph knows, whereas Emily does not. So, you know, that's when Emily is like, huh, a hotel to redeem sinners. That sounds like a good idea. I'm going to take a look. I'm not going to go down there. And then just opens a portal and watches for a little bit, you know. And then it zooms in on the hotel. And, you know, in hell, we could just, like, kind of do that trust episode again. Something similar to that, where we just get Charlie trying to run the show and, you know, being stressed the whole time. And even have us set up like Vaggie being like, hey, you know, you can go take a break if, you know, all this work is stressing you out. I got this. And Charlie can be like, no, it's not this. It's the meeting. And then maybe that's when Charlie tells Vaggie, like, the angels want to come down and exterminate us. And then that would, you know, give Vaggie something there because she used to be an angel. So she'd be like, oh shit. Like, maybe she knew about this plan. Maybe there were rumblings about it in the past, but it never came to fruition. But maybe Vaggie had heard something about this before, and hearing about it again, she's like, oh no. And then episode 4 is you basically combine the main plot of episode 5 with the side plot of episode 4. Charlie asking her dad for help to get a meeting with heaven. Radio Demon versus dad bumping heads, but less of the Radio Demon saying you're like the child I never had, because that was a little too much. Which, I mean, that is what he says in the song. It's like, oh, look at how supportive I've been. And again, we only have so many episodes. I feel like this is going to be the weakest part, but we could basically largely keep that the same. And then the side plot being Angel's backstory. We don't need to have Charlie interact with Valentino at all. We can just have Valentino being a douche on his own because he's an overlord. He can be a douchebag. What if she was too eager to kill them all, so she fell and is now pissed that heaven is doing literally what she wanted, but for some reason gets away with it? That's a good idea. That's a good idea. That way, when the reveal comes later, like, hey, your bitch wanted to kill you too. It'd be like, oh! That way we still kind of get that effect. Episode 4, Charlie asks her dad, yada yada, blah blah blah. Episode 5, Charlie goes to heaven. Charlie and Emily hang out. Vaggie is uncomfortable the whole time. They learn more about heaven and hell from each other, find out there's more similarities than they initially thought, because this is Reddit. Emily asks the question, why is good person in hell? Charlie asks, why is bad person in heaven? Angel Demon, Emily Vaggie on the shoulder dynamic, and the episode with cliffhanger that Vaggie is a former angel. And we can even have something like... Like, we can even have Adam say something like, yo, I loved your idea of exterminating all the demons so much that I actually convinced the seraphim to let me do it. It's crazy. I know. Imagine you falling for that exact reason. Oh, it's great. It gives her a reason for being too hard of a taskmaster on the hotel while Charlie is out. Yes, that's good. That's good. And then the side plot is Nifty, Razzle, Dazzle, and Kiki get up to shenanigans. Killing the bugs in the hotel eventually escalates to killing the cockroach overlord in the city. Velvet is in a meeting with the cockroach overlord when Nifty and the gang break in to kill the bugs and him. What else are we going to have Velvet do here? I guess just kind of sit there and be like, interesting. What's your name, little thing? And then Nifty goes like, I'm Nifty. I kill the bugs. Like, aren't you a cute little creature? And then she just carries her around for a little bit. We can just have Velvet doing random everyday stuff. I don't know, like maybe she walks into a store and buys some hell perfume. I don't give a fuck. That's good. I can write that down. She genuinely hates other sinners, but her redemption arc is slowly coming around to loving them. Let me write that down. So this is the... Alright, Vaggie, Charlie's girlfriend. The hotel truly redeems everyone. Velvet should be seen around the other overlords to sell the idea that she can butter up to anyone. Yeah, so let's do the V's. Valentino, sex dungeon guy, Vox, personal rivalry with Radio Demon as the TV demon, Velvet, the liaison of the other two, manipulative, butter anybody up. Season 2, she tries to butter up Charlie. That's a good idea. Adam hates demons, loves to kill them, massive prick, no personality, out of saying fuck and killing demons. So we can change this to hates demons because he used to be in hell before he was rescued by the big man. She's as smooth as velvet. That's good. Makes sense. Makes too much sense. The current writers, no idea. Alright, so the angels... Angels with Adam, we'll just shorten it. Excited to kill and purge demons, whether it's because... We can even have something like some other angels are excited to go and kill the demons because it's like, I want to kill the person that killed me. Although that wouldn't get you to heaven in the first place, but again, this is a Vivzy show. There's a serious lack of conniving and backstabbing for a show taking place in hell, and Velvet can add the Game of Thrones element. Yeah, yeah. On angel dusts. Soul, but only in the studio. Vox, we don't really know much about. Did we have more of him in the whatchamacallit?
What?
The first episode?
The pilot?
Yeah. Did we have more of Vox in the pilot? I feel like we didn't.
I don't think so. I don't remember. Let me see.
So yeah, most of the characters are gonna roughly stay the same. Angel Dust, we're not changing. Husk, we're not changing. Vaggie, changing her backstory a bit. Charlie, not really changing. The Radio Demon, we're not really changing. Season 2, Charlie and the gang work on redeeming sinners, while the V's push harder and use mass media to sell out all-out war. We're not at Season 2 just yet. We're not there just yet. And other side characters, we could set up all the other overlords some other way. Sorry for rushing ahead of your 8-episode season. Well, we're almost done. So let's see, where was I? Episode 5. Yeah, so episode 6 is the court meeting in heaven where shit hits the fan. Emily finds out about the extermination the same way as the original show. Charlie asks the question, what gets someone to heaven? While Emily asks, what puts someone in hell? Nobody has the answer. They use angel dust as the example again during the side plot, because we're not going to change that side plot, to show that someone can be redeemed or at least improve a little bit. Can still have the reveal that not every angel knew about the upcoming extermination. Adam is a douche because before Jesus saved everyone and freed them from hell, Adam was the first human in hell. That's why he wants to kill the demons, because he wants revenge. Can still have the reveal that Vaggie is a fallen angel. Use the last 5 or so minutes of the episode showing that the relationship with Charlie and Vaggie is strained due to the breach of trust and not telling her that damning secret. And also wanting to kill her.
In the pilot, you only see small cut of all 3 of the V's together, and then at the very end when they're talking about Alistair's backstory, he pops up with like hardcore highlights around him, probably to make him seem like a big bad. Yeah. That's literally it. That's all we get.
Alright, episode 7 gets everyone for the ensuing battle. We can have Charlie, Vaggie, Radio Demon going to the other lords to ask for help, introduce all the other overlords here, do it as a group so we get more group interactions. Everyone would be more willing to help, maybe because it is the first extermination. Finally, they go to the V's, even if the Radio Demon doesn't want to. The V's say, fuck no, hope you die. Between each meeting, the characters get more frustrated and exasperated, get on each other's nerves. See how they overcome that. Also, Charlie is still upset with Vaggie, but they know they need each other in the upcoming battle and put the breach of trust behind them for now. Big battle, they're struggling, overlords come to help and die. Lucifer is afraid to help because he already got his ass kicked. So he overcomes his fear of heaven's angels and fights in the battle. No death from Serpentius yet. Battle stalls, it's a stalemate, which lends credence to Emily saying that this isn't the correct answer. Standing up for Charlie in the hotel.
At the very end of the episode.
Launching the battle. There's a ripped photo of Al that shows Vox was with him, so they were buddies or something. Yeah, we can do that in season 2. Battle ends when Adam dies, angels fall into disarray and retreat. Set up for next season, some of the overlords die, there's a power vacuum, the V's gain more power. Radio Demon gives hints about his deal and his power, Lilith shows up on the beach. Vaggie and Charlie's relationship is strained, but for now are just dealing with it. All right, we're not going to do that. I think we can stick to this 8-episode list. If there were more episodes, then I would probably do something like just stretching out the plot, having filler episodes. Fox's old TV head before becoming a flat screen. And, like, we don't have to answer stupid questions like, why do they look like that in hell? Like, who cares? And we don't have to answer the question, like, when they come to hell, what makes them look like that? Because this isn't Beetlejuice. We don't have to know how they died. They don't have to look like what they did on the human world. I mean, it's a cartoon. Like, we could just hand wave that kind of thing away. So yeah, this the way this is written now, it has really good setup for the next season where, you know, we have a lot of moving parts now. The power vacuum ensues. Radio Demon gets hints about his real power, and he's injured from the battle, so he can't take overlords. Others can. Lilith shows up on the beach for whatever reason because she's been missing for 7 years too, apparently. Vaggie and Charlie's relationship is strained, but they're just dealing with it. And then later in season 2, it can come to a boiling point. This is good. This is good. Now the idea here is... Yeah, okay, so the main plot, angels are coming to exterminate the denizens of hell while Charlie is trying to redeem them. This is the first extermination in 1 year. Why? Radio Demon and Lilith have been missing for 7 years. Does this have anything to do with that? Maybe we can have something like it was Lilith's idea in the first place. Who knows? We'll keep that a mystery for now. Season 2. Let me get some water first. So, overarching plot for season 2 is going to be So the plot of season 2 is going to be the V's have taken more power in the city and threatened the existence of the hotel. And pretty straightforward. We can have some subplots. Charlie and Vaggie's relationship is on thin ice and looks like it's about to blow up. Another subplot. Let's try to think of something fun. Al could be the first Wendigo rather than some dude who hung out in bars during the 20s.
He was in bars, but also a cannibal.
Oh yeah, apparently he was also a cannibal, which I guess But let's see. What are some other subplots we can have with all the other characters? Like, of course, we still have the rehabilitation of everyone in the hotel. Well, rehab of the guests in the hotel. Maybe we can even introduce a new entrant to the hotel.
Yeah.
You too many people and you become a scary deater. Oh yeah, I played Until Dawn.
Yeah, I was like,
I remember
right.
that.
That's how they do people.
Maybe something like Angel Dust stands up to Valentino one too many times and his soul gets torn apart. I don't know, but I feel like we need to play with that. Something for Serpentius so that his sacrifice in this season is more effective. Maybe Serpentius getting more confident as a person over time. Again, these are like small subplots. Well, Charlie's is the main subplot, but the rest of the subplots, let's see, Angel Dust and Valentino's relationship, because obviously Angel Dust, or Valentino is at odds with the Radio Demon, and Angel Dust is living with the Radio Demon, so, you know, Valentino's not going to like that. Maybe Valentino tries to make Angel Dust a mole. Like, we can have something like that. Angel Dust is forced to betray the other people in the hotel, you know, building up all this trust over the past season, maybe even the half of this season. And then because he had already sold his soul to Val, he has no choice in the matter. Added more plot elements about how contracts control hell. Very fair. Like, we could probably do something early on in the season where Alistair makes his first deal with Charlie, and then it escalates later to where Alistair asks for more from Charlie.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Let's see. Yeah, I think something... I don't think we need to do much else with Husk, because he's supposed to be, like, the bartender. People come to him with their worries. He's just the outlet for the vent. Charlie should go to Lucy for help with her contract rather than help with her hotel. Yes. We can even have something like Charlie and Vaggy's relationship blowing up causes Charlie to make a bad deal. You can basically tell the audience that that's how hell works. You made your bed, now lie in it. And, like, the only way to get her out of her own contract would be to offer something better, which would be, obviously, the King of Hell could offer something great to the radio demon. And there's kind of like, you know, that heel turn. We can do that at the end of the season where Alistair, he was never in it to support Charlie's dream. He just wanted to get to her. I mean, that's fairly obvious already. Like, we're in hell. He's not going to do shit out of the goodness of his heart. And that goes into what happened in episode 7. They shook hands. They made that one little deal. He's like, oh, just one little favor. It's like, okay. What's that one little favor going to be? Because you know they have to call back to that in season 2 eventually. But we're talking about our new season 2. I like the idea of putting Charlie and Vaggie in the doghouse. Maybe relationships like that can't work in hell, you know? Can there be love in hell? Which is a manga currently sitting on my bookshelf? That's why I think he should attempt to get a deal with Emily. Right. We did want to do that.
One more.
So like these are some good plot elements. Like at some point Charlie goes to Emily for help, brings Al with her, and Al tries to make Emily make a deal.
I'm bringing the children
in. Alrighty. Tries to get an ace in the hole against Lucy. Yeah. Because like that, you know, episode 1 maybe. Or like it has to be early on. Maybe not episode 1, but episode 2, you know, Alistair makes that small deal with Charlie. Like, oh, just a favor. I just want one favor. And you give me a favor. You don't have to sell your soul. And then that favor becomes take me to heaven. Get me an audience with heaven. And it's like, shit, that's a steep favor. It's like, well, that was the deal. That's the favor. Mystery 7 years. Because what's like the overarching point here is going to be, it starts off power vacuums, the V's get more power, the V's challenge the radio demon gets more and more power, and more of his ambition starts to come out. By halfway through the season, he is asking for the audience with heaven, and by the show's finale, he's making a deal with the devil himself. So like those should be the major beats. Like one small favor. Take me to heaven. Deal with the devil. The devil went down to Georgia. You were looking for a soul to steal. Weird. Princess of Hell is naive about her own people, hence why she had the idea of the hotel to begin with. Yes, very true. I think I already wrote down that she is naive. Naive and hopeful, yes. I'm trying to think of what we do with all the other side characters. Do we want to introduce more characters to the hotel, or is it just going to be the cast that we're sticking with? And at that point, we would be like, this is my OC, please donut steal kind of territory.
You're talking about season 2?
Yeah.
Because I would, honestly, I would only do just season 1 and wait to see what they bring in for season 2.
Maybe.
And then fix that too.
We can fix season 2 when we get to season 2. Just reveal a little bit more about the cast. Yeah, we could do that. I don't know if we'll expand further on our own season 2. And again, if they have to stick to 8 episodes, so be it. But we're going to make it work. But I like the direction that this is going in. Damn, why am I not a Hollywood writer? Husk was the fiddler, and he lost the ability to play after he died, and he's trying to get his fiddle back. Oh, that's a good setup, because he was a gambler. He did make that bet with the devil in Georgia. That's good. Husk was the fiddler from the devil that the devil fought in Georgia. That's where his gambling tendencies came from. And he wants his fiddle back, but he can't play with his big, meaty claws. And Nifty needs another episode. Of course. So, and we have the side plots we're going to have are Angel and Valentino's relationship. Maybe that becomes bigger. Serpentius getting more confidence. That way when he dies in the final battle. And then he can go to heaven and we can reveal at the end of the season setups for next season. Serpentius goes to heaven. Once again, asking the question, how does someone get to heaven? And also answering the question, what happens to souls in heaven and hell when they die? So we show that first, because then we reveal Adam was reborn in hell and is growing power as an overlord. And that can be referred to in the background, kind of. Like, a new overlord appeared in the power vacuum, but he's too small to care about right now. Turns out, that's Adam. Need to bring Cherry back so Pentious can have the romance to set up a reason for her to want to change. We can do that, yeah.
Oh my god, speaking of Pentious coming back, so many people are coming out being like, oh no, what if after he was revived in heaven,
that he doesn't have his memories?
Memory.
Yeah.
And I was like, no! I would hate that.
Bring Cherry back. Bring in Carmilla. She's too hot to not show up. Who?
The arms dealer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she could be a big player. She can be one of the guys that didn't die. Like, maybe she has an alliance with Al, yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, that fucking bitch started singing, dancing around in her second song. I was like, fuck yeah, Latinas.
So we can do something like Carmilla creates an alliance with Al because she saw through Velvet's attempt to deceive her. Because we established in season 1 that Velvet, or Velvet, however you want to say it, is, you know, has a good way with words, can deceive anyone to get her deal. But, you know, being another bad bitch, Carmilla is like, nah, I can see right through you. And to, you know, get one over on the V's, she goes to Al. Later in S2, she's working with the Vs because she's selling to both sides. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there is no loyalty in hell. There shouldn't be. So we have a lot of things we can do here. There are a lot of ways this can go. And then, you know, Serpentius doing his sacrifice. Cherry wants to change for the better after Serpentius's sacrifice and checks into the hotel. I don't even think we need to touch on the Lilith thing unless that is, you know, why the radio demon and Lilith have been missing for 7 years. I mean, it's obvious setup that it's related. Or maybe it's just a coincidence. Like, do we need to build on that, or can we just kind of cut that entirely? I don't think we do. Pentious should have ties to Carmilla rather than the V's if he's coming in big during season 2. I don't know what you mean by that, because, like you said, Serpentius wanted to become an overlord, so he would have been a competitor to both of them, but ever since then he's been in the hotel. And the only things he really has are his eggs, and then apparently Cherry Bomb was his rival.
Yeah, and he only joined the V's in Vizzy's because bots told him, join us, only so that they can have a mole.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the only reason.
So Serpentius is a mole for Carmilla because Angel Dust is already a mole for the V's. Ignored him completely during season 1. How do I even know he was there?
Dude, after reading this is aside from HAZBIN. After reading how the live action Avatar's coming out,
yeah, I saw
really
that.
Hope How to Train Your Dragon doesn't.
No, apparently How to Train Your Dragon is also going away from the source material.
No.
These people don't know what their audiences want.
Dude, are you kidding me?
His whole military might theme works better if he's allied to the arms dealer. Makes sense. We could probably drop hints about that early too, kind of like how his dumbass eggs will say the most ridiculous shit. We can probably just have his eggs be like, oh yeah, boss loves Lady Carmilla. He goes to visit her every weekend. Like, just drop something retarded like that. I was like, oh ho ho, you cute little eggs.
He would never do that.
Yeah, right.
What do you want? You were already fed. You have water.
He's just a chunky baby.
Inside.
Come here. Alright, guys, I'm gonna beat my dog live on camera. Yes, come here, Toby. Yes, come here, Toby. Hey.
Oh.
No, because I saw another thing on Twitter today, and it's like, oh my god, this person beat his cat on camera, and it's just like, you can hear him patting the cat, and the cat going like, meow, meow. I'm just like, it does not sound as bad as people are making it sound.
Yeah, and so many.
Like, obviously you can't see
cats.
it, but like, it doesn't sound nearly as bad as people are making it sound.
Yeah, like Bear loves the booty pats, like the hardcore ones. You know what I mean?
Isn't that right, Toby? I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna get canceled on Twitter because I'm gonna beat you. Yes, I am. Look at you, Toby. Look at you, puppy. You're stinky. You're making me stinky. I'm gonna have to take another shower because of you. Look at you.
They're all stinky.
Yeah, you're just gonna climb up all out of the back.
Get him, Toby. Get him. Get him, Toby. Get him. Yeah, get him.
Self-defense. I'm gonna break his neck.
And I go up next to your mic and just crack my neck.
Yeah, right. All right, go away, stinky. You're not going back outside. Don't look at me like that, bear. No, go away. Go away. Go away.
Go lay down.
Cherry Bomb not working for Carmilla also works because she's the minor rival faction to Carmilla's third party, just there to cause trouble but still trying to get power. That kind of works, yeah.
Just letting you know, but we should probably not stay up too late tonight.
I
We
am.
didn't really sleep last night. We have to wake up for church tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna wake up at 10. So if Cherry sort of, but not officially, because she's a loose cannon, joins Charlie's squad because friends with Angel. What do you want? No. Go away. Go lay down. Thank you. I think we already have a lot of moving parts here. We do kind of need to... We do kind of need to establish Cherry as something. So like Cherry has ties to Carmilla because that's where she gets her bombs. But she's a loose cannon. Joins Charlie because she's friends with Angel. Then Penchus defects to Hotel to attempt to woo her, but gets roped in like the original and is dumb, so his wholesale believes Charlie and it works. That's good. She's trying to seize her throne, but it way outclasses. Ah, I see what you're saying. Trey doesn't. Hence why Carmilla lets her annoying underling fight instead. I see what you're saying now. Okay. Alright, so Cherry is trying to take Carmilla's throne, but Carmilla just sends the dumb snake to fight her instead, hence their rivalry. Cherry joins Charlie because she's friends with Angel. This makes Sir Penchus change sides because he's a dumb level oaf and is naive enough to believe in Charlie too. Mobile keypad not fast. Alright, so this season, it's a lot more character driven. Because it's going to be a lot of, like you kind of said, Game of Thrones-ish. Like, who knows what kind of deal Sir Penchus made with Carmilla in the first place. Does Carmilla have his soul? Something like that, you know. We need to see Emily and Sarah and Loot again. Yeah, there really isn't, because this is gonna be mostly fighting for power in hell, there isn't really much room for heaven to show up. But if we set it up, I mean, we can, I feel like we can leave it out because they can have more in season 3. Because if we set up Adam as the new overlord, you know, after the battle between the V's and Alistair at the end of this season, set up Adam as the new overlord, you know, obviously Alistair is going to win. The V's, maybe they go into hiding or they just lose a lot of their power. Adam is the new, you know, big hotness, and then they have to go to heaven and be like, hey, can you help us out? One of your former angels is stirring up trouble, kind of thing. I mean, we can have any excuse to go to heaven anyway. Loot demanding Sarah let her siege hell again to rescue Adam. That would be good, yeah. That's way ahead of ourselves right now, though. Alright, season 3. We could just end it after 3 seasons, too. That would be a clean 24 episodes. That's a full anime series.
Done today.
What have you done today?
I've done.
I think I'm almost going to be done, too.
9, 2, 3, 4, 5 more towels.
Nice. Is that how you spell his name, Alistair? Bless you.
Yeah, Alistair. Oh, supposedly people are making a lot of Michael, like fan art and how they think he would look and whatnot.
Archangel Michael.
Archangel Michael, and it looks so cool. Some of the ones I've seen look so fucking cool. Let me see if
I was gonna say, I think you've shown me one.
I think that one was like the basic one, but
yeah,
the one I recently saw today was awesome.
All right, so we're not going to write out each episode one by one, but we have all these, you know, plots we can get through. In 8 episodes, maybe. And then season 3, Adam has grown in power. Alistair made a deal with the devil and has also grown too much power. Charlie and company try to enlist help from heaven to stop the both of them. Loot wants to go rescue Adam. And I don't know. This is where they meet Sir Pentious again in heaven. Yeah, they meet Sir Pentious again in heaven, which proves Charlie right that the hotel can work. Which is the original point of the show, by the way. And then I think, you know, if this is the way it goes, we can just neatly tie it up at the end of season 3, and that's the end of the whole story. Obviously, more players can be introduced, but that's getting into territory where we're really getting into OCs. Lucy needs Charlie's plan to work because Big Mike is coming to kick his butt. Al is undermining Charlie now to get Mike to kick Lucy out and make a power vacuum. Large, overwhelming threat. I kind of like that.
No, I can't find the ones that people
There's
this one I saw today. I think this is the one that you might have seen. The second one I'm about to post.
Ah.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were just going to pull it up on your computer screen.
Yeah.
Lucifer needs Charlie's hotel to work to prove to heaven that he was partially correct. His vision for the world? Question mark? Wendigo is defined as insatiable hunger, so he's never satisfied and always greedy for more.
I saw some really cool ones, like actual good ones.
So because the Wendigo is getting more powerful and craves more power, wants to challenge heaven itself, which is what pulls Michael into battle. End of the show, Al never sees his own greed to be his downfall. No? That's dumb? No, you're dumb. Fuck you.
What?
Snickers.
Oh.
I think it's cool. We could spend more time in heaven.
Oh my god, where's the one that I saw today?
No fun allowed.
Cool sword and everything, dude.
I mean, it can really go in a lot of different ways. So season 3, Adam's grown in power. Alice made a deal with the devil to save Charlie and also has grown too much power. Charlie and company try to enlist help from heaven to stop both of them. Luke wants to go rescue Adam. They meet Serpentius again in heaven, which proves Charlie right that the hotel can work. Archangel Michael comes out of retirement like The Rock at WrestleMania to have one last fight against Lucy. Lucifer needs Charlie's hotel to work to prove that heaven that he was partially correct in his vision for the world, question mark. Tomorrow voice chat will be better. Well, I'm not doing this tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm playing Dynasty Warriors.
Tomorrow I'm out of the house.
And she's busy.
We're doing wedding stuff.
I think I'm going to be done here anyway. I've gotten everything I wanted to off of my chest. About how shitty the show is and how much better our vision of the show is. Why do we hate Palmon? You mean Pal World? Alrighty. Yeah, I think I'm going to be done. Let's see who is online as a raid target. Let's see. We got Art, Monster Hunter World, or Dark Souls.
One of them's Pumpy, right?
Yes.
What are the other two?
Kaz and DJ Ansi.
And
well, actually, I raided the other two more recently, so let's go raid Pumpy.
Pumpy.
Alright, good night. But yes, this was us fixing HAZBIN Hotel. Setting it up for... I didn't even see it. What are you talking about? It didn't show up.
I subscribed earlier when I first came into the chat.
Did you type it out in the chat that it's subscribed? Because that's what triggers it to show up in my up on screen.
It didn't give me an option.
Well, then I guess you didn't subscribe.
My 3 primes.
Well, I see that my sub points goal went up, but it didn't actually update in my Streamlabs. And it didn't show up on my anywhere. Yeah, who knows. Alrighty, but that'll be it from us. Thank you for listening to my ranting and raving about how HAZBIN Hotel can and should be improved. We are going to be raiding Pumpino, who is a cute little pumpkin girl, and she is currently doing some art right now. It looks like she's drawing another version of herself. She has like 50 different VTuber models, and they all look great. Love Pumpy. So that'll be it from us. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful evening.